This is AMs with Annette, your UK business and coronavirus update, weekdays at 11 a.m. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for joining me. I do appreciate it. Any questions that you have along the way, please do let me know in the comments. As I said, this is your UK business and coronavirus update. So what I am not speaking about is anything in relation to health or politics. However, I am covering things to do with support, with the economy, with the banks, all those kinds of things. So that is what we are speaking about today. For those of you who are new to me and have not watched any of my live sessions before, my name is Annette Ferguson. I am CEO of Annette & Co, UK-based accounting firm. I'm a chartered accountant and certified Profit First professional. And my help and support businesses take home more money from their business for them and their families to enjoy. Of course, at this point in time, that can be incredibly challenging for many, many business owners, which is exactly why I decided to start AMs with Annette to support you both during this time and, of course, beyond. So thank you to everyone who is tuning in. Thank you for the hellos as you join as well. I do appreciate that very, very much. Hello, Angus. Hello, Mohammed. Hello, Addy. Thank you for tuning in. I do very much appreciate it. This is your UK business and coronavirus update. Hello, Carl. Thank you for joining me as well. So who else have we got as well? We've got somebody inside the Uncovered community. I can see I'm just waiting for their name to load, as to who is there as well and who is saying good morning to me. This is lovely Sapphire. Sapphire, thank you so much for tuning in today. Good morning to you too. So the first thing I want to cover today is the UK government is to guarantee £10 billion worth of trade credit insurance. This is something that I initially mentioned probably a couple of weeks ago now, that the UK government was looking into covering the trade credit insurance. They have decided to do that and guarantee £10 billion worth, and that is in an effort to stop the market seizing up in the wake of the coronavirus crisis. Trade credit insurance protects companies from the risk that their customers will go bust before paying for goods and services that they are supplying. And business leaders have said that this is a vital cog in the economy. It covers approximately 630,000 businesses a year, trade credit insurance. And what will happen is that the £10 billion will be provided via a reinsurance scheme. So that is how the government is going to support in that. The insurers that will not be allowed to make profits on business that uses this guarantee, and their executives will not be able to earn bonuses for that business either. So important caveat for that. Of course, some people have been suggesting that those types of measures should be put into place for all businesses that have received support during this time, that, for example, dividends should not allow to be paid, but that is not the case generally with most of the support. With most of the support, we are able to still pay dividends as a business, whereas this section is saying that for those insurers who are taking advantage of this and generating business as a result, the executives will not be able to earn a bonus as a result of this. Of course, some of the loan schemes for the bigger businesses have also said that they are unable to pay dividends out as a result of receiving that. So there are some caveats for some of the nuanced lending and borrowing, but not generally for most small businesses that are taking advantage of schemes in place. Hey Owen, hey Charlotte, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining me. I do very, very much appreciate it. Hey Joshua, thank you for joining me. Thank you for everyone who is tuning in. Thank you for the hearts, the thumbs up, the waves, the likes, the loves, whichever platform you are on. Thank you so much for showing your appreciation and giving me those likes and those hearts and those thumbs up and all those beautiful things. I very much do appreciate it. Thank you also for those of you who are starting to follow me as a result of my live streams, seeing my live streams and following me because you enjoy what I share and get value from what I share. I do appreciate those follows, those friend requests, and all those good things, again, depending on how it is termed on whichever platform you are on. So I do thank you for that as well. We're seeing a significant increase in the number of scam emails that are being basically as if they are coming from HMRC. So the number of scam emails being purported to be coming from HMRC has skyrocketed since the start of the year. HMRC has said that the emails that they have received as phishing emails being reported to them has increased 74% from January to March, and that number has climbed to 42,500 in March. So huge number of scam emails going around at the moment in relation to the support that businesses and individuals may be able to receive. So if you are receiving emails of that kind, please be very, very, very careful about what you are clicking on, about making sure that any emails you receive are in fact true emails and not phishing emails. As I say, there's a huge number that have been reported at this time. I have seen some as well, and I know that some of my clients have seen some as well. So please be very, very careful with emails that you receive that say they are from HMRC. Do not click on links. As always, if you want to log into your HMRC accounts or check anything, then go directly to the website as opposed to clicking anything on an email and entering any information, or give HMRC a call and discuss things over the phone rather than clicking on any links or providing any personal information that way. So please be very careful. Even if the email has what looks like your reference numbers or anything like that, please still be very, very, very careful and wary. Sean, thank you so much for tuning in. James, Paul, Gallup, maybe that might be how I pronounce your name. Alex 3000, Chaz, thank you for tuning in. Eloisa, lovely to see you here as well. Hello, David, thank you for joining me. If you are joining me, do give me a hello in the comments. Do let me know that you are here. It's always lovely to see you guys here and to say hello back when people do say hello in the comments. If you have any questions, of course, this is your UK business and coronavirus update, AMs with Annette. So please do let me know any questions that you may have in relation to that, and I'm happy to answer that, or any questions you have in relation to anything I'm covering in today's session. This is AMs with Annette, which happens weekdays on whichever platform you are watching at 11 a.m. We are live on TikTok, Instagram, Periscope, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and with the Uncover Wealth community, my private Facebook group for business owners. If you are a business owner and you are not already in the Uncover Wealth community, I invite you to join me there. Within the Uncover Wealth community, I have exclusive trainings and resources. So please do come and join me there if you are a UK business owner in particular, but a business owner anywhere else in the world as well, and you will get massive value from being in that group. So what I want to cover next is the Trade Union Congress has said that an emergency bailout of the UK childcare sector is needed if nurseries and childmind centres are to reopen, allowing parents to return to work. This has always been a really difficult issue because at the moment, of course, we have schools going back, but only for a very small number of pupils in England, not elsewhere in the country, but also people are being encouraged to get back to work. And in some instances, they just cannot do that when they have children at home. They can't leave them alone. So what do? So this is an ongoing issue that we're having at the moment, where people are being encouraged to go back to work, but have childcare issues as well. And we're hearing from that Trade Union Congress that childcare sector is also struggling significantly. Of course, they have had a massive drop in income, like many, many businesses, and an increase in cost as well, having to put things in place for social distancing, for children returning, parents doing drop-off, all those kinds of things. So there was a survey that was done for the by Early Years Alliance, which represents 14,000 members, and it has said that 7% of providers are expected to operate at a loss over the next 6 months, and a quarter believe they will go out of business in the next year. So that is a big problem. Of course, the childcare sector providing lots of jobs as well. So if a quarter do actually go out of business in the next year, that is increased job losses, which takes its toll on our economy as well, along with the fact that it means there are less places for people who do have jobs to place their children to receive care whilst they are at work, causing an issue as well. In some parts of the country, it's already very difficult to find childcare providers because they are full. If we have less childcare providers, that's going to be even harder for people. Potentially, therefore, the ones that are left may be increasing costs, increasing the price, etc., etc., supply and demand. All those things come into play. That will in turn cause issues as well. So this is one to watch, which does have a knock-on and ripple effect in other areas as well. Prime Minister Boris Johnson has promised an apprenticeship to every young person as the government braces for a wave of youth unemployment. Again, something that we've covered a little bit before in these sessions is that we have unemployment rising all the time, and the likelihood of those school leavers at the moment, people who are just leaving school over the summer, or university leavers who are leaving over the summer, finding jobs, finding employment is going to be incredibly difficult, we imagine, because of course there's going to be a cut in jobs overall. So what the Prime Minister is saying is that there's going to be a major investment in skills and training, and he is proposing that every 16-25-year-old in the UK is offered an apprenticeship where the business would be reimbursed for training costs. So that is what is being proposed and put forward by the Prime Minister, promising an apprenticeship for every young person. Now, how they place those apprentices and how that actually works in practice is going to be interesting to see, because with businesses potentially with lower revenue and being able to having less customers, basically, are there roles for the apprentices to fill? Are there actually going to be jobs, regardless of whether or not the training is paid for? Is there going to be stuff that needs to be done by these apprentices or not? What does that actually look like in practice? Brit Ann says, what are they classing as a young person? 16 to 25-year-olds is what they are deeming to be a young person. That is the age range that the Prime Minister has said, that every 16 to 25-year-old is offered an apprenticeship. So that is what they are deeming to be a young person. Britant, thank you for asking that question. So that is that's where we are with that. Interesting again to see how that will work actually in practice. Like I said, do the jobs even exist? Even if the training is being paid for by the government, will those jobs actually exist in order to be provided to young people? It's a big promise saying that every 16, 25-year-old will be offered an apprenticeship. So how is that going to work in practice? What systems are going to have to be put in place to make that actually happen? We will wait and see on that one. So thank you for everyone who is tuning in. I do appreciate all of you who are hopping on, whichever platform you might be on. So thank you so much for joining me. Hello, Costa. Hello, Maria. Hello, Laura. Hello, Katie. Hello, Leah. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody who is joining. This is your UK Business and Coronavirus Update. AMs with Annette, weekdays at 11 a.m. UK, where I cover all things around governments, banks, economy, all those types of things. I do not cover health and politics, but I do cover anything in relation to UK business and how it affects UK business. I'm going to take a drink of my tea as well. And if you have any questions on anything in relation to that, please do let me know. Please ask in the comments and I'd be happy to answer those. I also want to share with you that today, live at 3 p.m. as well, I have Strategic Chats. Strategic Chats is my open Q&A where I come on, answer any questions that you may have. Now, I do that in Zoom. So if you want to come on, actually ask me a question face-to-face, chat about your business, then head to head to annetteandco.co.uk/strategic chats. And you can register. You'll receive a Zoom link to your inbox to join me actually on Zoom, where we can have a chat. As I say, that session is streamed, so do come back and tune in for that. You can hear those conversations. I always find that listening to conversations of other people speaking about their own business helps spark things with my own as well. So do make sure you join me for Strategic Chats at 3 p.m. If you are shy and you do not want to come face-to-face on Zoom and ask me the questions, you can do so in the comments as well. So if you want to think about what questions you may want to ask in relation to your business at this point in time, then do give that some thought and either hop to annetteandco.uk/strategic chats to register so you can join me on Zoom and ask your question. Or, as I say, tune in to whichever platform you are tuning into now, and you can ask those questions in the comments as well. Thank you so much. I can see a couple of people sharing out this session, this live session as well. So I really very, very much appreciate when you share this session to your friends and followers as well. So thank you so much, Farhan, for sharing that out. I do appreciate it. Andrew Bailey, the Bank of England governor, has said that he's pressed bank bosses to make sure they have adequate preparations in place in case of a UK-EU trade deal that has not been agreed by the end of the year. So this is in relation to Brexit and moving that forward. And Andrew Bailey is warning the banks that if a trade deal has not agreed, there is going to be stress on the financial system. He has stressed the importance of ensuring Britain's financial system would be able to cope with a no deal scenario. Of course, a lot of pressure already on the banks, on the financial system, with the loans that are being given out, with their with pausing of mortgage payments, with pausing of loan payments, all those kinds of things. Already a bit of pressure on the banks there. We have been told that their stress tests have come back okay, and that actually the banks should hold up. But Andrew Bailey, the governor of the Bank of England, is saying that most of the financial stability risk arises directly from disruption to cross-border financial services. They are hoping that most of this has been mitigated, but they are stressing that the banks need to make sure that that is the case in case we do end up with no trade deal by the end of the year. So that is going to be incredibly important to watch as well, to make sure that the banks are in a stable position, that they can cope with that situation as well. AXA is coming under a bit of fire. AXA, the insurer, I reported a few days ago that, of course, with the non-payments basically of the business interruption that insurance that is happening, the FCA, the regulator, is taking a number of terms of commonly used policy wording to the courts to get a ruling on whether or not insurers should pay out. Insurers have been saying that if they pay out on their business interruption insurance, it will basically bankrupt them. They cannot afford to pay out every single business interruption insurance policy throughout the world, because they never envisaged a point in time where they would have to pay out on every single one in one go at the same time. And you can understand why that was not part of their calculations. That makes a lot of sense. However, AXA are coming under fire because they have just announced that they plan to pay a dividend to shareholders. This is defying the recommendations by the regulator. And on announcement of this, their share price jumped up by 7%. Incredibly controversial to say, okay, we can still pay a dividend to shareholders. However, we might not manage to pay out our policyholders for insurance they have already paid for. That is going to cause some big issues there. And I can imagine that people may vote with their feet when it comes to who they look to go to for insurance at a later date. So perhaps not the best move from AXA there when it comes to the PR side of things. But of course, their shareholders are happy and their share prices jumped up. So their shareholders have a double win there. So maybe they're not so bothered after all. It's incredibly interesting that they have decided to do that at this time, though, when many businesses are, of course, pausing dividends, halting dividends, or saying, actually, we have decided we are not paying a dividend at the moment. So AXA defying that, and as I say, going against the recommendations by the regulator as well. AXA is one of the businesses where the policy terms are being taken to the courts. That court date is set for mid-July. So we'll see what happens with that court date as well. For businesses, of course, many people saying that July is too late for many businesses that require payouts under these policies, but that is the date we have. So that is what we need to work with. So thank you for everyone for tuning in today. I do very, very much appreciate it. This is AMs with Annette, your UK business and coronavirus update, where I cover all things on the banks, the governments, the support available, the economy, all those kinds of things. I am back, of course, at 11 a.m. again tomorrow. So please do mark your diaries. Please do tune in and join me there. And as I mentioned earlier, I also have strategic chats happening at 3 p.m. UK today. If you want to hop on Zoom with me and discuss anything to do with strategy in your business, it's completely free. You can head to annetteandco.co.uk/strategic chats, or if you are on TikTok or Instagram as well, you can click the link in my bio and it has the link to strategic chats there. If you're on any platform and you're not sure, do just send me a DM and I'll send you the link over as well. I'm happy to do that. I also stream strategic chats as well. So if you do not want to hop on Zoom and ask a question, but you want to check out what other people are asking, then you can hop back to whichever platform you're watching on today and tune in for that. And if you want to ask me a question and you're too shy to hop on Zoom, you don't want to get on the camera and speak with me, then you can type that in the comments in the chat at that point in time as well. And I'm happy to take any questions in the comments at that point in time too. So thank you everyone for tuning in. I very, very much appreciate your time. As always, I know it's incredibly precious. I'm looking forward to seeing you all at 3 p.m. UK today for strategic chats and at 11 a.m. again tomorrow for AMs with Annette. Thanks again, everyone, and I'll speak to you all very soon. Take care.